Basically, we are an annual title, so the production cycle is 1 year, but we're actually involved in real production work for about 10 months of the year. However, this year, we added 2 new platforms to the series, and so we actually spent only about 8 months in production this year because of that. So even though we had a very short production period this year of 8 months, thanks to the hard work and the skill and the talent of my staff, we were able to finish the game on time, make our release dates on time for everybody, and still come up with a game that is really good. So I'm very pleased with their work. The WWE is extremely involved deeply at all levels. Thanks to the relationship between THQ and the WWE, we have been able to receive lots of game assets and other things from the WWE. They have been very, very cooperative in assisting us with game production. We receive assets from them. We also have the benefit of their cooperation in terms of understanding what it is to develop a video game based on their property. And so that their cooperation has been indispensable in making the game, and myself included and my staff are very, very grateful to the WWE for that. Yes, you've touched upon a really important point. The pro wrestling world is almost a living, breathing being in the amount of changes that it goes through over any given period of time. And even though to some our 1 year development cycle, 8 to 10 months, seems like a very short time, in the WWE world, something that was true 10 months ago is definitely not true 10 months later. And this is true for roster. This is true for gimmicks that different superstars use, the costumes that various superstars wear on any given event. And so our staff are always looking at the WWE with a little bit of both anticipation and fear in terms of what is coming, what kind of changes are coming down the pipeline. Probably in all of the changes that have happened in the pro wrestling world up until now, the biggest one for us was at the time that the WWE bought the WCW. At that point in time, we were all looking at that event from the opposite point of view. Like, what if WCW ended up purchasing WWE? It would probably be the end of things for us. And we would lose this opportunity to create a pro wrestling game that fans around the world know and love. It's almost like it would be an end of an era and a huge change in our lives. So we were very, very concerned about that particular change. Yes, there's a number of things that the superstars have actually mentioned that we did put in the game. The superstars, the wrestlers themselves, the superstars look at and play our game, and when they do, they look at themselves because it's actually them inside of our game. And so they'll look at the game and look at themselves in the game and say, hey, I don't do this, or hey, I do this more like this and in this style. And so to us and to my staff, if a pro wrestler is actually telling them something about what they would do in person, they take that as set in stone and they bring it back and they try to implement it as much as possible. And even if they have to stay up all night and get it into the game, we're going to do whatever we can to make sure we put it in exactly as the superstar has said. There's 2 things, or 2 directions that I want to take it in. The first one is in the online direction. Right now, as you know, the online world is huge and very popular in games. The virtual world is very popular in games right now. And I really would like it for our fans to be able to become superstars and go online and live, eat, breathe the life of actually being a superstar in our game online. The second thing is more on the console, or in terms of in the single player experience. We've been creating this game now for 10 years, but there are still a lot of things that we are not doing that we could do in order to really provide the user or the WWE fan with the chance to experience the WWE brand fully inside of a game. The WWE superstars the wrestlers themselves, as well as all of the people in the organization, work really hard to bring the brand and the level of entertainment that the brand provides to a certain level for WWE fans. And I think that there's still a lot more that we can do to incorporate that level of entertainment that goes along with the brand into our game. So the two things that to make our game more WWE-ish, if you will, and really provide the WWE fan with more than we're giving them now. So it's two things. The first one would be to provide the game fan with more of an experience of playing our game, and the second one is to provide more of the WWE fan with the experience of the WWE world. So I would like to definitely say to all of the US fans who are watching over IGN, thank you for being interested in our game, for purchasing our game year after year. Even though we are far away over here in Japan, and we really only have this kind of method of meeting each and every one of you, we are, and I am in particular, very grateful for your support and for your excitement about the game that we've been making all of these years. I want you all to know that I always have you in my mind as I'm spending the entire year working on the production of this game, and that although we are far away, Yuke's is always thinking about what the US fans of this game is looking for, and we hope that we can continue to provide you with an even better experience next year.